So, we have a few guffs to get to before we
Alrighty.
get into the normal wrestling. You want to tell us about what we've been watching, whether it's movies or TV? What have you been watching this week?
I don't think I've seen a film this week, and I don't know that I've watched anything notable on TV. So no TV and no beer make Homer something.
Did you watch La La Land last week, was it, or this week?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to see, because I don't remember here. Oh, yeah, it was last week. Okay, yeah.
I talked it up. I put it over strong.
Talked it up, brother. Yeah, I gave it the big old 10. The big old 10-ski. I watched one movie this week, which is a movie that neither of you probably will have ever heard of, nor will you probably ever see, nor will probably any of the listeners ever see. It's a French movie called Les Dissociés, which I bought on DVD, and came with a signed script, which was nice. Signed by...
I've seen that. Amanda Seyfried, Russell Crowe, France, and that.
Signed by the three main characters in the movie. It's kind of similar to Space Cop in that Space Cop is a movie made by Red Letter Media, who I very much like, of course. And this film is kind of similar in that it's made by a group of comedians who are called Suricat, who put their videos out on the Golden Moustache website. And of course, I know them through my time in France and through watching, very French videos on YouTube and so on. And I really like those guys. I would even recommend to non-French speakers. Their videos all have subtitles. They're all super funny. So I checked out the movie, and it's okay. It's kind of, again, similar to Space Cop in that I think you'll really only enjoy it if you're already familiar with the people in it. It's a lot better made than Space Cop. It's a lot more competently made. Like it feels like you're watching a proper movie, whereas Space Cop is very B-movie, is very schlocky. And yeah, like I say, it's very competent. It's only an hour 20. It's like an hour 15, hour 20. So it's very, very short. And similar to Jungle Book, the original Jungle Book, the Disney animation, not the book, obviously, was also very short. And kind of the same feeling where it feels like it's rushing through all the plot points and you're trying to take it all in at once. And you're saying, wait, what's happening? Who's this? What's that? So if it was maybe 10, 20 minutes longer, probably would have been a lot better. But as it was fine. Weirdly, for a group of comedians, it's not a very funny movie. It's more of an action movie.
So it's like a Ricky Gervais film.
Well, no, in that it doesn't try to be funny. It's not a comedy movie.
Oh.
It's as if Ricky Gervais tried to write a Bourne movie or something like that. It's kind of very, very weird thing. But no, they do the character stuff well. The acting is quite good. It's just very short and yeah, it's pretty good. I would go no further than that. It's like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's good. It's got a very good concept. It's two people wake up to find that their bodies have been stolen by. There's this group of kind of similar to the set of in Watch Dogs, where you have the little hacker group. It's this group of activists who are able to steal your soul out of your body, and they take your body. So it's just people switching around, like Parent Trap.
Okay.
And it's these two people trying to get their bodies back is basically the point of the movie, and there's a whole conspiracy going on, etc., etc. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's the only movie I watched this week.
Yeah, I did not watch any movies myself. Joe, have you watched any movies?
I watched a movie called Dead Pool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
which is one of these comic book adventure films.
It is.
Yeah,
you may have seen at the movie theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it quite boring, to be honest. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't really enjoy it much either. I found most of its kind of quips and jokes not particularly funny. The story and whatever was kind of bleh.
Yeah.
A lot of the actors in it were a bit shite. Like Ryan Reynolds is quite good, but then he had a load of like TV actors just to fill in the other parts. The two kind of X-Men that they had in it, like fucking hell, talk about WWE B-level house show. Who the fuck were they? The metal fella and a moody teen. They look like a couple of knockoffs you get in the pound shop.
You got
the Z-Men.
You found out that unfortunately the London house show this year is Kane and Big Show main eventing.
Yeah, exactly. They were.
I thought they were both good though. Like even though they were not names, they were.
Yeah, they were alright. Just nothing to get really excited about. I laughed a couple of times, and there was some few decent bits. I didn't hate it, but yeah, I didn't really get excited for it. It was supposed to. I expected it to feel very different from the other kind of Marvel movies, and it did in a sense, but in a sense it was also, quite similar in terms of the hero and the villain and the revenge and the woman and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I wouldn't give it any kind of thumbs up. Thumbs firmly planted in my pockets. That's all my movie watching for the week.
All right, quiet week on the old movie golf this week, it seems. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I didn't even play any games this week. I'm still working away on Watch Dogs 2. I don't know, Paul, if you've had any game golf this week.
I do. I've played lots of games this week. How far into Watch Dogs 2 are you, out of interest?
I just did. What did I do? I've done the thing where you basically infiltrate their fake Google. Where one of your buddies in your motley crew is basically his day job is actually working at their Google equivalent. So I just did the mission where you infiltrate that.
I recall that still being quite early on though. That's like in the first.
Yeah, I've done a lot of dilly dallying with the side quests and stuff.
All right. I do still find myself sometimes missing Watch Dogs. Like Watch Dogs really was a top game. Really great.
It's very good, yeah.
So I beat the Batman Telltale series game.
Oh, I
beat that early in the week. Really, really enjoyed it. Liked how the story played out. Liked the last episode. It was great. Funnily enough, I didn't really have many technical issues in the last 2 chapters. Which is where I heard people having the most issues. I really didn't, for whatever reason. I didn't have the glitch of floating eyes or anything like that. So I had no problem with people not appearing or anything like that. So yeah, really enjoyed it. If the performance was a little bit better, I'd probably give it, an 8 or 9 out of 10. But like over the course of the entire series, the performance is just too bad overall. Yeah. To really be acceptable. But yeah, nevertheless, I really enjoyed it, and well worth a go if people haven't played out there, especially people like me who haven't played a Telltale game. I think it's a good jumping off point, just because it's Batman. Batman is so kind of accessible. I then played Jazz Punk. Platinumed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know whether it was the mood I was in when I was playing it or what it was, but a lot of it didn't land for me. Jazz Punk, for those who don't know, is kind of it's a first person adventure game. Maybe it's not necessarily a walking simulator because it's kind of a lot more interactive. But the thing about it is that it's a comedy game. I found a very Naked Gun in its comedy. A lot of it's very visual.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I thought at the beginning, like, a lot of the jokes would kind of land flat. It was like 1 out of every 3 or 4 that I'd kind of find funny. And outside of the humor, I didn't find too much of the game like actually that interesting. It's very, very easy as well. Like probably the easiest platinum I've got of all. I think I'm like 7 platinums now. Yeah, it was fine. Again, I was not one that if I had spent any more than I think I got it in the sale, so I got it for like a $5 or something.
Yeah.
I think that's probably around the right price to be paying for it. If you pay any more than that, I don't know that you're getting your money's worth. It's very weird, especially the longer it goes, the story just gets more and more convoluted to the point where I was kind of not really paying attention to what was going on. Yeah, and I would say a little bit of a disappointment. Honestly, it was okay.
Aw.
It was okay. Again, I think the humor attempts to really make up for the lack of actual substance that's in there. Like there's not a lot to it.
Yeah.
The graphics as well, although they're cartoony, sometimes they're a little too simple as well. Like it's not a visually interesting game either. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, Jazzpunk, I'm not giving it a thumbs down, but it's definitely not great. It's okay. And then I started.
It's your enjoyment of that game is entirely predicated on the humor and look. I mean, humor. It's hard to hit. It's hard to broadly hit with humor. You know.
It is.
Because everyone's so different, and it's extremely weird. I mean, it's a really specific kind of humor that I really enjoyed, but at the same time, I enjoyed it, and I knew other people wouldn't necessarily, and also there are extended parts of it that I also didn't like, especially towards the end of the game. I don't think it sticks the landing especially well. I think the first chapter is really great. The find the MacGuffin level.
Yeah, that probably was
great.
my favorite level of the game, actually.
I think most people have that experience. It's just like, here's this open world, and it's just walk around. Well, open world, relatively speaking. Walk around and press buttons and see what does what, and it's great. I remember actually talking about that game when it first came out on PC on this show. It's really hard to explain what the humor is in that game because so much of it is on like the delivery and the weird voices and the it's very, very specific, and it's not the type of thing that you can just explain it and have it work. Like in that first level when you find the guy who he literally asks you if you have the MacGuffin yet.
Yeah.
But his voice is what makes it, his delivery, and it's so silly. But yeah, I'm glad you played it. It's definitely, I think it's definitely in the walking simulator genre as this weird offshoot comedy thing.
Like, I don't regret playing it at all. I just wish that there was a little bit more to it. Like, when you, in that first level, you can obviously, like I did, go explore and walk around the entire place and find all the little secrets that there are to find. But when it actually comes to doing the achievements, like, I reckon you could probably blitz through this game in half an hour. Like, the levels are actually very, very short. And I just wish that there was a little bit more to actually do. Like, the world, it doesn't feel particularly full of things to do.
No.
And the levels are quite small as well.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, it has you like playing like crazy golf, and I didn't like the mechanics of that. I was like, why am I doing this? But like, I don't regret playing it or anything. It's good. And then yesterday I started playing Ratchet and Clank. PS4.
Another one of my favorites of the year.
I can't quite put my finger on it. Why I like it so much, but it's great. It's really, really great. Because when I actually try and think about like what is it about the game that I like, everything is quite like simple. It's not a very complicated game. The controls are very simple. Melee attack is very simple. Shooting is very simple, and yet it all kind of works in a satisfying way. The levels are very well designed. The characters are very Pixar-like. Like, I love all the cutscenes. Love the character interactions. The bosses, like, I'm coming up. I believe I only started yesterday. I'm already coming up towards the end of the game. I'm at the point now. You finished it, I assume, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming up to the Deplanetizer or whatever it's called. So that's
you're basically done. Yeah,
that's where I am in the game now. And the bosses have like a meaty feel to them, where you have to like hit them 100 times. Like, it does feel like a good old-fashioned boss, where it's not just hit it 3 times and you're done. It feels like you're in a proper battle with it. And sometimes, like, I was at the point where you're fighting the Mrs. Zorkon or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
That's a tough old battle the first few times.
That took me a long time. Yeah.
But yeah, but in a good way. Like it feels almost like an old fashioned game in how the boss levels are laid out. So yeah, that was one of the last games I actually ended up buying during the sale. I got it for €16 or whatever it was, and again a little sleeper hit. Like I knew that it was critically well regarded, but I don't know. I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it as much as I have. I love the levels. The levels again are quite simple, but are memorable. And it has aspects of. It feels like Mass Effect mixed with Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
And there's bits of like Donkey Kong, like there's a part of the game where you get the grinder boots and you're grinding along the rails. That feels a little bit like the old Donkey Kong minecart levels.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed as well. So yeah, I haven't beaten it yet. I don't think I'm going to platinum it. The platinum requires you to beat it twice. For like a 10-12 hour game. I'm not sure that I'd go through it a second time. There's also a trophy where you have to use a specific weapon on every kind of enemy in the game, and it doesn't keep a tracker. And again, I'm not sure I'd be bothered to
Be
get to
bothered.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm loving it. It's fantastic. Excited to see how it turns out, and I'm surprised I'm getting through it so quickly. I just the time really flies when I'm like I easily sit down and play that for like 2 hours, 3 hours at a time, which is not something I can usually do with games. But yeah, it's really great. So that's what I'm playing at the moment is Ratchet and Clank. I'll probably have it beat tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, you're basically like you're on the home stretch. So you, although I remember the last boss fight being tough. But yeah, also I love that it's like it feels like it's been so long since that genre has been like so prominently featured. But like it brought the 3D platformer to the current generation of consoles. It just looks gorgeous. All the classic archetypes from that genre. Like here's your desert planet, here's your lava planet, here's your but in modern graphics, it all looks so great, and all the fur on Ratchet game, and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a gorgeous looking game. I heard the PS Pro version as well is even better. For a console that's not like it's not flying off the shelves. Doesn't seem like it's a must own, but it feels like that one got really positive reviews. So yeah. I'm glad you got into those two. Those are two games I really, really enjoyed. Earlier today, actually, I'm working on a Game of the Year video just for fun. Ratchet and Clank's on there, obviously, and it's taken ages, so I decided to just do something else on the channel. So I played This War of Mine, which is free on PS Plus this month. This is a game I played on Android because it's been on Steam, Android, and now it's come to PS4, and now it's free on PS Plus. It's really great and it translates really well to PS4. Basically, it's kind of like The Sims if it was set in sort of a mid-90s Eastern European civil war.
It looks kind of similar. No, I've not played either of these, but it looks kind of similar to the Fallout Shelter game that Bethesda.
That's actually a very good shout. Yeah, that's
visually it looks like that.
You are looking. You've the same kind of perspective. It's like here's a cutout of a house, and you're moving your characters around the rooms, and they have odd jobs to do. I'm going to send this guy over here to cook some food, and this person over there needs to go and collect water from the rain filter thingy, and so on. So that's kind of what it is, and it's basically just resource management. So it's set in wartime. You basically have you have to manage your characters' sort of food, their hydration, their happiness, their health. You need to bandage them when they're injured, give them antibiotics when they're sick, and then sort of the day phase is you pottering around your little house, building cookers and radios and eating and sleeping and talking to the other characters to keep them happy. Doing all that, and in the night phase, one character has to go out and scavenge, and basically you go to other houses and you're stealing from people, some of whom are hostile. Others, the very first house, this is on the stream actually on my YouTube channel. The very first house I decided to burgle was occupied by an old couple, and they didn't fight back. But the man follows you around the house talking about how his wife is dying, and he doesn't stop you. He just goes, "You're taking my medicine. I have nothing. I'm very pathetic." And it's just like, oh my god, just making me feel like garbage. And so when you do things like that, your characters then get depressed. You can also buy or steal or craft weapons, and bring them to the places. And some places are outwardly hostile, like you'll go play, even you can attack first and kill them. That also makes them depressed. So when they get back, you have to talk to the other characters to keep them happy. And it's very hard. I remember that from when I played it on Android, and I've actually played more of it sort of on PS4 than I did on tablet. So kind of getting deeper and deeper into it. Really fantastic, but it's super tough because it's like I kind of, last time I touched it, you start off with 3 characters, you can recruit more, but it's like 2 of them are like hungry and depressed. Like 2 of them are outwardly depressed, and one of them is depressed and wounded. And it's like you have to, and then you have to go out and scavenge at night. It's like, okay, do you want to go to the supermarket with lots of food, or do you want to go to the hospital that has lots of medicine, and also the hospital, is a hotspot for other bandits. So it's really great, and it's free on PS Plus. If you have PS Plus, jump on for the next, what are we at, we're at the 22nd, so you got about another week to jump on there and get that as your free game. Do give it a go. It's been out for a few years, but the PS4 version is great, and it's really, really fantastic. Like I mentioned, it's The Sims with like a really grim twist, and it is fantastic. So that's the one thing I've been playing this week other than Watch Dogs. We talked about a lot. So I think that's Game Guff, is it?
It is. It is. It is.